Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Good morning. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Zoom class from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, and Text 18. This is a recording of Srila Prabhupada's lecture, and sometimes the volume is a little low on the recording, so please kick up the volume of your listening devices. So without further ado, we'll start the class right now. Hare Krishna.
the murderer of the princess, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with great speed, fled in his chariot panic-stricken just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva.
तमापपंतम सविलक्ष दूरा कुमार हो उद्विग्न मनारसेन पराद्रवत प्राण परिपुप्सु पूर्वा जावद गमंग रुद्र भयाद यथार्क. So here is one reference that Lord Brahma was pursued by Lord Shiva. When Brahma was running after his beautiful daughter, so similarly here Aswathama, he knew that Arjuna is coming to kill him, so he was running very swiftly from apatantam sabilaksa dura. From distant place, when he saw that Arjuna was coming, so dehatma buddhi, this is the distinction between person in bodily concept of life and person who is liberated from the bodily concept of life. So, when Durvasa Muni cursed or wanted to kill what is the king? Ambarish Maharaj. So Ambarish Maharaj was a devotee. Unnecessarily he was harassed by Durvasa Muni, but because Ambarish Maharaj was a pure devotee, advanced, he was not afraid of being killed. He was not afraid. There are many instances. There is Prahlad Maharaj. He was attempted to be killed by his father so many times, but he was never afraid. Although he was 5 years old boy, but he was not afraid. That is the distinction between an advanced devotee and ordinary man. Dhiras tattva namuyati. Death means changing of the body. So there is nothing to be very much afraid of. But one is afraid of death because at the time of death, the tribulation, the miserable condition of the body is very, very severe. So much severe that one cannot remain. He has to give up his body. Just like sometimes out of disappointment, too much suffering, one commits suicide, death. So death means very, very painful. As much as birth is also very, very painful. Therefore, Krishna presents Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Dosana Darsana. One who is intelligent enough, he should always keep before him the sufferings of birth, death, old age and disease. In front. You can side. Birth, death, old age, they are very suffering conditions. But if one is advanced devotee, he is not afraid of. Narayana parasarve na kutasana bibhati. Narayana para is never afraid of. Death is coming, that's all right. What is wrong there? Provided he knows that after giving up this body, I am going to Krishna. Dhiras tattva namayati. He is dhira. One who is dhira, he is not afraid of. So we have to become dhira. Then we shall not be afraid of death. Unless we are dhira, there are two classes of men, dhira and adhira. Dhira means one is not disturbed even though there is cause of disturbances. One may not be disturbed when there is no cause of disturbances. Just like we are not now, at the present moment, we are not afraid of death. But as soon as we find there is earthquake and we are afraid of this building may fall down, the cause of disturbances, then we become very much disturbed, sometimes screaming. So, one who is not disturbed, even there is cause of disturbance, he is called dhira. Dhira sattvanamaya. This is the statement of Bhagavad Gita. We have to become dhira from adhira. But this Krishna consciousness movement is so nice that adhira can be dhira. This is the profit of this movement. Krishnat kirtana gana nattana paro premamritam nidhi dhira dhira. Krishnat kirtana gana nattana paro premamritam nidhi dhira dhira janapriya. This Krishna consciousness movement is pleasing to both the classes of men, namely the dhira and the adhira. It is so nice. Dhira dhira janapriyo priyakaro ninmasaro pujita. This was introduced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and followed by the sixth Goswami, Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo, Sri Jiva Gopal. So, this is the moment how to make a adhira dhira. Everyone is adhira who does not, who is not afraid of death, who is not afraid of course, that were too much agnostic, they forget. But there is suffering, we can see how one suffering at the time of death. There are some men dying. Nowadays it has become a very common coma. One is lying in the bed for weeks, 2 weeks, crying. The life is not going. Those who are very, very sinful. There is great pain at the time of death. There is great pain at the time of birth, and there is pain when you are diseased, and there are so many pains when you are old. The body is not strong. We suffer in so many ways, especially rheumatism and indigestion, then blood pressure, headache, so many things. Therefore, one should be trained up how to become dhira. these things, disturbances, make us a zero, and we should be trained now to zero. That is spiritual education. One has to know it. Matra sparshasya kauntiya sitasna sukhadukkada. These sufferings, matra sparsha, tanmat, on account of the senses, sense perception, we suffer. And these senses are made of material nature. So one has to become above the material nature, then he can become zero. Otherwise, one has to remain a zero. Dhira dhira jana priyo priyakaro. So, Aswathama became very much disturbed. Tam apatam tang sa vilaksha dura. Kumara from Hanan, killing. So he is described here not as Aswathama, Kumara one who killed the 5 boys of Draupadi, Kumaras. Boys are called Kumara. Prahlad Maharaj said, Kaumara. Kaumaro acharit pragya dharman bhagavatani ha. From the childhood, because here Kumara ha, they were innocent boys, they were killed. So we do not know whether I am a Kumar or I am an old man. There is no certainty of death. Any moment death can take place. Not that I am now Kumara, I can play. When I shall become old man, I shall chant Hare Krishna. This is not a very good policy. Prahlad Maharaj says no, immediately. Kaumaro acharit pragya dharman bhagavata. Therefore, the children, those who are actually Dhira, Vaishnava, they should give education to the children. What education? Not this so-called technical education or smoking education, drinking education, and so many rascal education. This is not education. Education means Bhagavad education. To understand God. That is what. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Education should be given in such a way that the student should be very, very inquisitive. Inquisitive. What about? Inquisitive about Brahma, not about this body. The body is matter, and the spirit soul is Brahma. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. This is human life. One should be inquisitive to know about spiritual life. What is spirit, soul? That is the first education. But where is that education? There is no such education. Prahlad Maharaj teaches that immediately, from the beginning of life, as soon as one is 4 or 5 years old, he should be educated about Brahma. That is called Brahma Jigyasa, beginning. That is wanted. And for him, there is need of Guru, one who is inquisitive or serious about inquiring about Brahma. He requires Guru. Guru is not a fashion. Guru is necessity. Tad vijnanatham guru meva vigacche. Tad vijnana. Tad vijnana means spiritual education. For material education, there is no need of Guru. You keep, Guru of course required, but Guru means to inquire about spiritual subject matter. Tasmad Gurum Prapaddeta Jigyasu Sreya Uttamam. Uttamam. Uttamam means Udgata Tamam Jasmat. Tamam means darkness. This world is darkness. Everyone will know that this material world is dark. And because it is dark, there is need of the sunshine, there is need of the moonshine, there is need of electricity, there is need of fire, because it is constitutionally dark. And the Vedic injunction is Tamasima. Don't remain in darkness. Jyotirgama. Go to the light. And our Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami, he gives what is that light. Krishna Sujja Sama Hai Maya Andhakar, Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Radhika. That light is Krishna. And anything which is not Krishna, Krishna is everything, but to make a general division, Maya, that is Andhakar. So we should not remain in Maya. We should remain always in Krishna consciousness. Then our life is successful. Otherwise, we shall continue the life of darkness. Uttamam, Udgata, Tama, darkness. You have to pass over this darkness. Padanga jada vipuda. Here in the darkness, just like in the darkness, if you walk, in every step there is danger. Every step there is. Padanga jada vipuda. If you don't want to avoid this dangerous life in darkness, then you must get to Krishna consciousness. Krishna Surya Sama Hai Maya Andhakar. Maya is Andhakar. Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Radhikar. The Surya, as soon as there is sunshine, the darkness automatically goes there. So if you keep Krishna always in view, in your brain, within your heart, Sabai Mana Krishna Padaravinda. If you simply keep Krishna within the heart, Manmana Bhavamad Bhakta. Krishna says, Manmana Bhavamad Bhakta. Then your life is. Otherwise, in the darkness, there is always danger in every state. Padanga jada vipuda. Samasita ji padapallavam plavam. Mahat padang punna jaso murari. Bhavam buddhi vassa padang paranga padang. Padanga jada vipudang nati sa. This is the version of Srimad Bhagavatam. Take shelter of Krishna. Samasita ji padapallavam plavam. Padapallavam. Lotus feet of Krishna. Jasu Murari. Murari is Krishna. One who has taken shelter of the lotus feet, which is compared with a boat, Plavam, then he has nothing to fear from this material ocean of darkness. And this place, this material world, which is darkness, and where there is danger, step by step, padanga jada vipada, not tesam. Tesam, for them, it is not for them. It is for the persons who want to remain in the darkness. And one who does not want to remain in darkness, for him, tasmad gurum prabhaddita, he has to take shelter of the bona fide guru. If you are serious about not remaining in darkness, as it is said in the Vedas, tamasi ma jyotirgama, if you take this instruction of Vedas, Vedic instruction, you have to take. Otherwise you will suffer. That is Veda. Why Veda is there? To give you intelligence. Chaitanya Charitamrita is said, Anadi Bohirmog Jeev Krishna bhuli gela. Ataev Krishna Veda Purana Korila. This rascal, Anadi Bohirmog Jeev, bereft of Krishna consciousness, Jeev, they do not know when they have forgotten Krishna. Anadi. Anadi means even before creation. Before creation. Long, long period. So Anadi Bahirmukh Jeev, Krishna bhuli gela. Ataya Krishna Veda Purana. What is the meaning of these Vedas and Puranas? To remind us about Krishna. So, how will understand Vedas and Puranas? Tasmad Gurum Prapaddita. You have to go to the Guru. Why? Jigyasu says, if you want to know the real life, then you have to go to Guru. Jigyasu se uttamam. And what is the sign, what is the symptom of such Guru, where I shall get real information? That is also stated. Jigyasu se uttamam sabde parecha nisnatam. One who is fully aware of the transcendental science or words, Sabda Brahma. Sabda Brahma means Vedic literature. One is completely in awareness of Vedic knowledge. Sabdi Parecha Nisnatam. Nisnatam means one has taken a dip in the ocean of this Vedic literature. Nisnatam. And what is the result? Sabdi Parecha Nisna Brahmani Upasamasrayam. The Supreme Brahma, Brahma, Paramatma, Bhagavan, Brahmani, either of them. But Bhagavan is the best. Or, if you cannot approach Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality Godhead, Brahma is also. Because if one is in Brahma, he has a chance to make further progress. But Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to go very slow. Therefore, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all these Shastras, they are giving directly in touch with Krishna. It's step by step, it is very difficult. So that is the special gift in this age. That is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In this age there is a special gift. What is that special gift? Kirtanadiva Krishnasya. Kalu, in this age, this world is full of faults, but there is one facility. Kirtanadiva Krishnasya. Mukta Sangha Parang Brajet. One can become liberated and go back to home, back to Godhead. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement is there to take Kirtan very easily. We have got a report from Europe in Yugoslavia. People are chanting Hare Krishna mantra even there in Yugoslavia. That is a communist country. Is it not? What is that place? Yugoslavia. They are taking very nice part in chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that there is no question of language difficulty. Hare Krishna mantra is so nice that any part of the world or any part of the universe you can go and chant and it will be appreciated. There is no need of language difficulty. So take this Hare Krishna mantra, chant yourself, preach all over the world, everyone will be happy and there will be no more fearfulness from death. Dheeras tatta namayas. Namo death. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So another wonderful lecture from Srila Prabhupada. Jai. So devotees, if you're getting some inspiration to unmute yourself, please do and share. You'll pick up whatever you got from this takeaways or realizations connecting to other things that you got, or the spiritual things or spiritual points, or if you have a question, you can bring that up also so we can have a nice discussion. We have about a half hour. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, August Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, glory to the Prabhupada.
Two things. One is I really liked how Srila Prabhupada really stressed the point of spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. Don't have the answer, go to the spiritual master. Have doubts, go to the spiritual master. He's always stressing the point of, and not sure how to find a spiritual master, the check and balance the spiritual master, checking out this, like he's really giving us open book, like I was feeling that there's no hidden secrets, no hidden information. It's just everything is in Sri Prabhupada's books. Everything is in the Bhagavatam. Everything is in the scriptures. And he's just openly making it available for every one of us, even to how to choose a spiritual master and how to check out the spiritual master, how to find out, like so amazing. So I was really appreciating how, everything is there and we just have to just follow it, and it's just how much the mind is such a rascal that we have so much difficult following it, but everything is there. And the question is, are we serious? Are we serious in taking up the process seriously? So this is one of my realizations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the realization. Yes, Krishna only takes those who take Krishna consciousness seriously. He's more protective, he's more aware of who they are and what they're doing. So it's our choice, basically. It's our choice. You take Krishna consciousness seriously and go by the instructions on how to grow in Krishna consciousness, then the happiness would come, without a doubt. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the realization and the takeaway. Any other devotees want to share?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, and all devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yes, just such a wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So many points to take. Yeah, one of my takeaway was Srila Prabhupada is mentioning this moment is to make the adhira to dhira. So nowadays, we see so many distractions or adhira propensity in the people. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that get trained up and become a dhira. And all this knowledge will make one to dhira. You can get the peaceful state in the mind from adhira to dhira. That was one of my takeaway.
Wonderful. Yes, he's mentioned so much about dhira being sober, and adhira, of course, the disturbed kind of person, and says that we definitely should be dhira. It's through Krishna consciousness that one can be dhira. So thank you for that.
Another takeaway was Similar to what Anusha Mata said is, Guru means inquire about spiritual subject matter. Tasmat
Yes.
Gurum Prapadde Jidnyasu Shreya Uttamam.
Right.
So,
Yes, the importance of spiritual master. You cannot really know Krishna consciousness unless you go through a spiritual master. Mm. Just like you cannot just read medical books and become a surgeon. You have to be trained by somebody who is aware of the bigger picture and experienced in doing it. So this is why we go to spiritual master, who is heavy with knowledge, Vedic knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Any
I like
more?
that. I like that the Shloka Prabhupada mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21. Tasmat Gurum Prapadde Jidnyasu Shreya Uttamam. Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahma Upashamashrayam. Such a wonderful shloka. I mean, it gives the kind of, whole conclusion of the Hare Krishna movement. Should I read the translation, Prabhu? That's very wonderful
Yes.
translation. Yeah.
Yes, please do. We're plenty of time. It's only 8:37. So go ahead.
Translation of this shloka goes, it's shloka number 11.3.21. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusion of scripture by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such a great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material consideration, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. Such
Wonderful.
a wonderful process as well as go ahead, Prabhu.
Give the reference again.
So 11.3, 11.3.21.
11.3.21.
Okay. Yeah.
11.3.21. So I've put it in the chat, so those who want to read, you can go or even make notes of it. Thank you very much for this reference and also for your realizations and takeaways. Hare Krishna. So anyone else?
Yeah, I want to piggyback on Nitya Gopal's point. Prabhu, thank you for sharing that quote and I mean the verse and reading the verse, because it's just this morning, so funny. This morning we were, me and a couple of the youth, but we were finalizing our 8-hour kirtan, on April 27th. And then, the youth were saying, but, we don't have, devotees supporting us coming out. And like you mentioned in the verse that you read, we need to see, are we serious? Are we important, and these devotees that the youth was saying, how can we get the devotees to really stick out for 8 hours? And then I was realizing, whoa, so many of us spend, you're talking about temporary happiness, right, Prabhu? In the verse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So this morning, me and the youth was saying, my goodness, people go to, Disney World or what you call it, King's Dominion, whatever, Hershey Park, whatever, and they spend 6-8 hours in temporary happiness. And then here we have the youth trying to push 8 hours of kirtan of permanent happiness.
Yes.
And we don't know which one we want, but we are willing to spend 6 to 8 hours in this amusement park all day, but then to spend, which is completely temporary happiness, but then to spend 6-8 hours in the temple to hear the holy name, which is permanent happiness, we have all kinds of excuses. So so the verse that you read really helped me remember what we were discussing this morning with me and the youth, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I just wanted to share that.
Wonderful. Yes, I think we have to put a more focus realizing the truth and conclusion of the Shastra. That verse focuses further is that he will able to convince others of its conclusion who has realized its truth. So I mean, one who put a focus on realizing truth, then we can able to convince others or able to get others interested. So I like that point very much. Yeah.
Wonderful. Right. So are there any other takeaways? Any other points to share? Unmute yourself, please, if you feel so inclined to do that. There's message that came in the chat. Okay, it just says Hare Krishna. Oh, okay. Damodar who said Hare Krishna. Maybe you want to type something else to put in. So all right. So when he finishes the chat, then what he puts in the chat, then I'll read it. So in the meantime, I'll share some of my takeaways from this. So Srila Prabhupada gave two situations about a devotee being not afraid. First, Ambarish Maharaj, who was harassed by Durvasa Muni. And second, Prahlad Maharaj, who there were so many attempts made on his life by his father, Hiranyakashipu. In both cases, they were not afraid. So devotees, the conclusion that he came to that was that Srila Prabhupada came to us that the devotees are not afraid of death. True enough, physically, death is painful, just like birth is painful. So one should keep in front of his memory the sufferings of birth and death. But devotees said death is coming, but they know they're going to Krishna. And he also made a point that Nitya Gopal we talked about it, that we should become dhira or sober, undisturbed. There are two classes, dhira and adhira. Dhira is the sober person, and adhira is the one that's nervous and disturbed. So Krishna consciousness, he said, is so nice that it can make a person, anyone, dhira. And Krishna consciousness itself is appealing to both classes of men, dhira and adhira. And the movement that we have here is how to make a person who was an adhira, a disturbed, a dhira, a sober person. And he talked about someone being in coma, and so much pain is there, and old age also giving so many problems because of the bodily breakdown. But to go on, he said one has to be above the senses, above material nature, or not matter the senses. Then one becomes dhira. And then one more point he made was that in any moment death can occur. So basically, some people who want to wait to get old first and then take chanting seriously, he said that's not a good idea at all. You have to chant at any age. And Prahlad Maharaj made the point to his classmates when he was only 5 years old. You have to take Krishna consciousness seriously now, not postpone it and say, oh, when I'm retired and I have more time, then I'll chant. No. Well, how you know you're going to get to your retirement age? Because death can come at any time. And that's the point of the Prabhupada. You take it seriously now, then death means you're getting ready to go back to Godhead. And we all know about situations where people have left their bodies in the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and not many people got to 70, and not many people get to 90. Even though the Kali Yuga age limit is 100, but how many people get there? So death can come at any time. Don't wait to get old first. So this is some of the things that that I put down as my takeaway. Hare Krishna. Okay, now Damodar Prabhu has said, please accept my humble obeisance. This is in the chat. Jai Srila Prabhupada. I just joined and heard His Grace Nitya Gopal Prabhu. I want to ask a question. How will I get that strong realization so that when I talk with conviction? It takes practice. It takes practice, and also and anybody that wants to chime in with an answer the question was not asked of me necessarily, but this is what I feel, and it's coming to me for an answer to this question. When you talk with conviction, it comes because one, you are convinced yourself about what you're talking about. Two, you've been hearing, and the hearing makes sense. Hearing about Krishna Katha makes sense to you, so you speak with conviction. And three, utsaha, your enthusiasm about Krishna consciousness. These three can help you to speak and speak with conviction. You chant Hare Krishna seriously, you're also going to get so much connection from the heart to Krishna consciousness that when you speak, it will be obvious to anyone who is hearing you that you're speaking something that you're very, very convinced about. So all of those help in being able to speak conviction. And finally, Krishna says, one who spreads this supreme knowledge is very dear to me. And the Bhagavad Gita says that no one is more dear than that kind of person. So when you speak with conviction and you preach like that, Krishna is also very favorable to you. That happens. It will happen to anybody who preaches in a convincing way, because they themselves believe it. They themselves are chanting seriously, and they are enthusiastic. In that way, then the words will flow, because Krishna is the one that is actually making it possible for us to use our intelligence like that. Hare Krishna. Anyone else that wants to add more to it can do that now.
Yeah, yeah, I was just thinking it's such a wonderful question by Damodar Prabhu.
Yes.
So nice to hear. So yeah, I mean, how strong realization. I was just thinking, one who has put all his eggs in that basket, that person will have full faith and conviction in that basket. So in other words, when we put all our energy, effort, consciousness, and understanding in that, then that person has his full part of his life is convinced, or the faith in that part of the his life. So basically, when we put our majority of interest, time in realizing Krishna, studying Krishna, loving Krishna, and that will bring us the faith in our life and the conviction in our life. The shloka says that realization, who has realized the truth, he will able to have the conviction, and one can able to educate one on these conclusions. So realization will happen when we put all our eggs in that basket. Yeah, that was my yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice analogy. Putting the eggs in the basket. Hare Krishna. Any other takeaways?
I liked what Nitya Gopal said. Thank you for, yes. That's a very powerful question, Damodar. Very nice question. I'm trying to remember, I'm trying to crack my head. Where did I hear this? And it was literally in the past 7 days. But I'm trying to think, but I can remember, but I read it. I heard it, not read. I heard it in one of the recent classes in the past 7 days from one spiritual master, and I cannot put the face in my mind. But he said that if we believe, one is we need faith. And in order to build faith, we have to be in the devotee association. And he says, not any devotee association, and the right devotee association that's going to give us that faith. And then he said, when we believe in Srila Prabhupada's words, then we automatically believe the Bhagavatam. That's what he said. That first, and also we have to believe in Srila Prabhupada's words, which means we have to read Srila Prabhupada's books. And the more we believe in Srila Prabhupada, then everything else we will believe. And that's how we build that conviction, is believing in Srila Prabhupada's words. Just wanted to share that too. Thank you.
Wonderful. To believe in Srila Prabhupada's words. Srila Prabhupada, when he's preaching, you can just hear the conviction by which he speaks and the authority by which he speaks. Right. It's hard for my small mind here not to want to believe Srila Prabhupada, but it does happen for some people. This is a very, 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 very potent lecture, as every one of Srila Prabhupada's lectures is like that. And the devotees, you can see that they're very, 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 very attentive to every point that Srila Prabhupada makes. And you can see from this the recording, when sometimes he gets to a point and he asks, as Durvas Muni was harassing this king, Then it says, what's the name? And immediately, Ambarish Maharaj was answered immediately. So much attention is also important. The quality of listening is also important. It's not a question of only just, hearing and then half the mind is not there and so on. No, we have to hear and hear very attentively. Even towards the end, when he talked about Yugoslavia, he made a little mistake here in how he was trying to pronounce it and he couldn't remember. And he says, what is that place? Immediately, Harikesh Prabhu, who became Harikesh Maharaj, and says, Yugoslavia, like that. So yeah, we should pay attention, close attention, as we should also when we're chanting. Focus. Hare Krishna. Any other takeaways?
Actually, I wanted to also add one more point and I have shared this point with Nitya Gopal, I think about 3, 4 months ago. Speaking about believing in Srila Prabhupada, right? Believing in his books, believing in his words, believing in his movement, how he set it up. Like about I think 3, 4 months ago, a couple of devotees, and without mentioning names, but Nitya Gopal knows who I'm talking about. A couple of devotees shared about some, temple that's going to be built in this area, where we live in right now. And they were all like bent out of shape. They were concerned, oh my God, this temple's going to come. What about ISKCON temple? Because they all know that Gujarati temples are always materially very affluent. So how's it going to affect us? And I asked Nitya Gopal and he says, oh, I don't know about any temple. We both are like so completely aloof from the whole news. Then him and I were discussing that when we see the glories and believe in Prabhupada's movement, because there are no temple in the world that do what ISKCON does.
True, very true. Very
We
true.
go out and do Harinam. No Hindu temple does that. We do food for life prasadam distribution. No temple does that in the world. We set up booths and give out Prabhupada's books and magazines. No Hindu temple does that. We have Sunday school, Vedic knowledge, not just musical classes and language. No ISKCON temple does that. We have
no Hindu temple does that.
No ISKCON temple does. No Hindu temple does that. In
Yeah.
any world. And plus we have deities that we dress, and we put, like we dress them, so there's
Archana.
so many, exactly, there are so many plus points in ISKCON temples that Prabhupada gave that no Hindu temple in the world can come. Now, how much do we believe in it? So the more we believe in Srila Prabhupada's movement, what Prabhupada has done, what Prabhupada has given us, then all the other new buildings should not shake our faith. If it shakes our faith, that means we don't have enough faith in Prabhupada's words.
True. Actually, I'm thinking of, before Vyasdevji wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam, Vedas was focused on the materialistic way, like you can do the devotional part and get the material gain. So I feel like, other institution, who have a little bit inclination for spirituality, but their main goal is the socialism and material gain. So that's how the ISKCON is the Srimad Bhagavatam, how Narad Muni scolds the Vyasdev. It's very tough to these people to, drag out of this material concept of life, and you have kind of give the concession to go in the material more. See, that's how I'm thinking, like other institution, like they are not uplifting spiritually to the soul. They are giving chance to go more in socialization and the materialistic way of life. But the moment of Srila Prabhupada ISKCON is like a pure Srimad Bhagavatam, how after scolding by the Narad Muni to Vyasdev come up and wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is the topmost scripture upholded by all the Shastra and all the Guru Parampara and Sampradayas. Similarly, I consider like this Prabhupada movement, ISKCON movement is like Srimad Bhagavatam, which raise above the this materialistic way of life.
So true, Prabhu. Actually, what you just said, Prabhupada is giving Prabhupada is giving permanent happiness. Whereas all the other temples that is not part of ISKCON, they're giving temporary happiness. Like you said, it's socialism, it's how to prosper in the material life, and
Yes.
it's a tourist attraction, pretty much.
True,
Prabhupada is
true.
giving us permanent happiness. Yep. Nice points, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much. Any other takeaways?
Hare Krishna, it's Deb. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Check
I
out
really
what
love this.
Srila Prabhupada
I really love this discussion, and
said.
I don't know. I'm thinking that the reason ISKCON has been so successful is just because of everything you're saying. It's a missionary. The Hindu temples, they're not missionaries, are they? I mean, they don't go out into the world.
No, they don't,
And
Prabhu. You're right. That's the perfect word.
yes, they don't. And look at how Christianity spread all over the world. Why? Because they're missionaries, because they believe what they're saying. And it's the same thing for Prabhupada's
Movement.
translations. He was on fire, and
Yes.
it spread all over the world, and anybody can come and learn and take it and be a part of it. And I think that's such a beautiful difference. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Wonderful. Actually, that way of missionary is like not only helping ourselves, we are helping others.
Yes,
Because
yes,
That's the whole point of missionary work. Yeah.
yes.
yes.
Because something is someone holding wonderful thing, like very nice and very enjoyable and very nice to us, then we should be distributing for their benefit. So that is the Prabhupada's thought process, like, and it's gonna help.
Program,
That's the whole goal of Lord also sending souls in the material world. Even though you have inclination, but please follow this process. You will come back to Godhead, so that we can help the whole world using this concept, and instead of getting suffering in this material world, come out of it using this missionary work and purify ourselves, and you can have more joy in the life than the material suffering. So it's like uplifting in any way. You can take it like on the basis of joy, on the basis of purity, on the basis of liberation, and the ultimate your ultimate gain is you don't want to be suffering all the time coming back here. You want to go to the spiritual blissful life, and this missionary work will help one enjoy this ihalok, and you can enjoy the paralok. So there's no lose
impediment.
in this.
Yeah.
Win-win all the time.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Very, 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 very wise, very, very, very observant. And the whole this nice description of from Dev Mataji on, talking about the whole thing about this being missionary and spreading the word. And this is the highest that this material world can actually benefit from. The highest knowledge is this. So wonderful, wonderful discussion. Dear Krishna Prabhu, please unmute yourself and go on.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my
Hare
humble
Krishna.
obeisances. All grace to Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
So,
Yeah.
first of all, I mean, once somebody gets a taste of Srila Prabhupada's movement, ISKCON, then no matter what, I mean, nowhere, no matter they go, they just don't get that rasa, that taste of bhakti. That's the bottom line with experience of so many devotees. So, apart from the activities of ISKCON, no doubt, very, very visible, right? What all activities devotees do as servants of Srila Prabhupada. But the bottom line is that why we are doing those services, because the taste that we have gotten in this moment, in spite of all our deficiencies, problems, even when I see people blaspheming ISKCON or Srila Prabhupada on the Facebook or in public or whatever, if we go into the psyche of the psychology, because they are missing that taste now, because they have been departed from that taste, but they have not forgotten that taste, and they came with certain agenda for whatever reason, and those agendas are not fulfilling, but they cannot forget that taste. So that's coming out in the form of frustration. That we want to be part of it, but I have this problem, I cannot be part of it. I have this issue. So and the devotees who have came from so many traditions, and of course we respect all the traditions. Srila Prabhupada always said we respect all the traditions. But the point is that what is the highest? So at least I can say for myself, coming from practicing different spiritual paths, different organizations, the bus stops at ISKCON, at Srila Prabhupada. Like Guru Maharaj says, the bus stops at Srila Prabhupada. No, okay, we respect everybody, we don't blaspheme anybody, and we should not. But the bus stops at Srila Prabhupada. Nobody has given us. So we proudly say that we are able. Of course, that's another issue, that we are, whether I am able to follow all the practices given to me or not, but that path has been given to me, at least the highest path in this moment. So I don't know whether I was off tracking, but something that I was just wanted to share out of this discussion. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's a
The
wonderful
bus,
point. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Really
Yeah.
on track. On track.
The
Yeah, the
bus
last
stops there.
yeah,
Krishna
last
consciousness,
stop
yeah.
during the journey, the who want to take off the spiritual journey, the last stop is the Srila Prabhupada's moment.
Mhm.
If you
Nothing
miss
better
that,
than that, Prabhu. That's the highest. You're right.
yeah,
I
The-
mean, like even if we think, right, Srila Prabhupada, like he has given the opportunity for females to do direct devotional service. Where would you find that? He is,
right.
I mean, amazing. Actually, when Dir Krishna was speaking and Nitya Gopal was speaking, I was remembering my father. When we first came to America, this was early, like 91, 92. My father used to work full-time at the Marriott accounts department, and he was a part-time what we call book distributor. In ISKCON, he was called an evangelist. So he had a car at, those days they had the Toyota Cressida. I think I don't think it can exist anymore. It was a very
yeah.
old car. On the door of his car, Nitya Gopal, on both sides, he had the picture of Jesus, and it's called the Bible Story Man. So
Wow.
my father, so he would take the car to work. My father was not embarrassed. I mean, that's one thing I have to tell my dad. I have to say about my dad. He was never ashamed of who he was. So he would so it had the picture, and it's the Bible story book. So he'll take it to work. So everybody in work knew that he's also a preacher. So wherever he goes, Prabhu, and on the weekends, Friday night through Sunday, he would go and do door to door. My dad,
Whoa, I did
Oh
not
yeah,
know
my
this.
dad was a very strong. In fact, they would call him the Bible story man. That
Wonderful.
was his name. And that is, like you said, so he was saving souls. And that's what Prabhupada gave us. Prabhupada gave us opportunities to go out and book distribution, chant the holy name down the streets, Harinam Sankirtan, I mean, book food for life, prasadam distribution, preaching in universities. How many people are, doing preaching universities? Only ISKCON is doing it.
They
There's
have the
no other groups
unlimited ways.
doing it.
Yeah, unlimited ways to go and
Yep.
share this. Yeah.
Unlimited ways. So
Yeah.
that Krishna Prabhu said, when once you get the taste, it's
And
powerful.
Mataji, why ISKCON faces so much criticism visibly? Because ISKCON is accommodating everybody. Other
Yes,
faiths, other organizations are not so accommodating, not so easy to get into. They will keep you outside the main door and just do the karma kanda.
I
But
agree.
ISKCON is, and Prabhupada, I mean, if we have to differentiate ISKCON in a single word, it's Prabhupada said it's an educational institute.
That's what
It's it's
Prabhupada
it's
said.
it's not a, like you said, tourist place.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a bird's eye view. ISKCON gives not the small sectarian or the small alley view, but it gives the bird's eye view. And the people who are envious about the institution because its lack of maturity and the wide understanding of wide vision and the really understanding the true Shastra's purpose and meaning. because they haven't realized the truth, then they don't understand. They get confused with their dogmatic mentality of their whatever they think. It doesn't understand align with their thinking, and they come up with these things, hatredism or the don't like ISKCON. Only is because of their lack of maturity or lack of understanding the real truth of Shastra.
Hare Krishna, yeah. This
Yeah.
this being a material world now, don't forget there's always enviousness. So that would happen.
Right.
But the evidence for the ISKCON growing is that ISKCON, many temples, many cities, they bought the churches and converted them to temples.
Actually, there's a quote by Srila Prabhupada, when you're speaking to, I forgot which of his disciples, he says, when a church closes down, we'll go buy it. That's what Srila Prabhupada said.
Mm.
But Dirkana Prabhu, you're so right. ISKCON is the only movement in the world where you will find opened up all everybody it's open to. That's so true. It's open to everybody.
Yep. And Srila
Yeah,
Prabhupada,
whether you have money or not, whether you can donate or not, whether you have education or not, whether you are poor or rich, doesn't matter. Everybody is most welcome.
yep. And the wonderful thing is the Hare Krishna mantra. There's no question, Srila Prabhupada said towards the end of this lecture, there's no question of language difficulty. And sometimes when I see YouTube videos and the devotees in different countries and they're chanting, it's so easy to pick it up because they're chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and that language is universal. So their own local language, I probably won't understand it, most probably not understand it, but they chant Hare Krishna and Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Hari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. It's all familiar to the ear. So no language difficulties. Dr. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has put it that way. And then one more takeaway is no more fearfulness. You chant and preach all over the world, and everyone will become happy. This is how Srila Prabhupada ended it. Any more? We're in the top of the hour now. Any more or final realizations? Or if there's a question, you can ask that now. You can take that. If not, then thank you very much for this. Well, first, let's thank you to Prabhupada for putting such a wonderful lecture together to educate us and to the Prabhupada's disciples for being aware of the importance to record them so we can hear it years and years and years later. Thank you, devotees, for coming to this class, and we're getting more and more and more educated on what real life is. Vanchakapaturubhya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And Damodar was also saying, thank you, everybody. Same sentiment that he's echoing
Yeah,
also.
thank you for asking question, Prabhu. Because of your question, we get to discuss such a wonderful topic.
And he
I was
says,
gonna say
thank
the
you
same
for
And
answering the
and
question
Damodar
so
Prabhu,
well.
it's just not by words that you show your conviction by your actions also. So we love your dance. That we are it's so inspiring.
Hare Krishna, jai.
Thank
Yeah.
you for the
All
wonderful
glories to
discussions,
assembled
Prabhu. I really
devotees.
enjoyed my time with all of you. Thank you so much. Haribol.
Jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Go to the Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai.